Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel, and we are keeping it spooky all month long today with the horrifying burned Fiend Bray Wyatt figure. I never liked that they kept Bray Wyatt in that he should have just been the Fiend. There should have been like no reference to Bray Wyatt whatsoever. When it was the Fiend character, but whatever. Uh, so this is the Burned Fiend, which is very Freddy Krueger-esque. I don't do a ton of wrestling figures anymore because honestly, they just don't get views in the way that I would like. So I got this one because one, I'm still a huge fan of the Fiend. We do not know. I am recording this review prior to Extreme Rules, where it is heavily rumored that the Fiend or Bray Wyatt could make his return. All this White Rabbit stuff has been fantastic. But yeah, I saw this in the store the other day, and I was like, man, this is a gruesome, awesome figure. I'm a fan of the Fiend. It's a very different version of him, and it's perfect to review during the spooky season. So here it is. Let's take a look. Look at the graphic disgustingness on the side of the box. I know that I don't think Tom Savini himself designed this, but I know it was somebody from Savini's workshop that did all of this work. And whatever you think of the concept of the Fiend, if you're a fan of horror, this is a fantastic design. On the back of the box, he is from parts unknown. Height 6'3", weight 285 pounds. Career highlights: Universal Champion, WWE Champion, Raw Tag Team Champion. Even after being set ablaze by Randy Orton, the Fiend returned from the ashes to exact his revenge on the Viper. And yes, if you don't recall, this was during the pandemic era where lots of, in my opinion, incredible stuff happened in WWE because they didn't know what to do. They were willing to try just anything, and some of it worked, some of it didn't, and some of it that didn't work was still very, very entertaining. But right there in an arena, Randy Orton had a match with Bray Wyatt, and then set him on fire, like on, I think, what was it, pay-per-view? I can't remember, but right there on pay-per-view or Raw or whatever the heck it was, uh, sets him on fire. And whether it's a stuntman or however they had it gimmicked, I don't know. I honestly haven't looked into it because I love the visual so much. I don't need to expose the whole thing. I mean, obviously he didn't literally set Bray Wyatt on fire, but it was awesome. It was an amazing visual. I loved it. And it was over the top, and it was too much, and it never would have happened at any other time in wrestling history, except maybe like 2000 WCW. But it's wild, and it led to this, which is just an iconic horror figure as far as I'm concerned. All right, so let's get these stupid little plastic deals off of him. Lots and lots of detail on this figure. I can't believe they even bothered to make this figure. Although, if you know, the Fiend's merch, Bray Wyatt's merch, was unbelievable. That guy was. I don't know that he ever has to come back to wrestling. He has to have made so much money off of merch. So of course they wanted to capitalize on a different look for this character. But at the same time, it was just such a brief thing. It's so bizarre. Oh, wow, look at this. Okay. So he's got a couple of extra hands, and you can see his gloves that typically say hurt and heal have been burned away. But look at the detail on those. It's crazy. The trim, the red trim is there. Everything is sculpt. Everything about this figure is 100% new tooling, which is insane. All that melted flesh, all of that paint, uh, just really, really impressive. So then the figure itself, we have sort of standard, WWE Elite articulation, but construction-wise, like I said, this is 100% new tooling. We've got a swivel waist, I never quite understood what was going on with this piece and this, but it's all just design, and that's if you're a fan of design and unique weirdness, then you gotta love this. So this is the Fiend mask, which in theory has been melted onto the face of Bray Wyatt. Just all kinds of repulsive, gross detail. What a concept. It's got the hair is actually a separate piece up here. The color is probably about right. They had a lot of trouble with the Fiend's hair. It would be too blonde, it would be too brown, it would, have some issues, but it looks like it's pretty good here for what he looked like when he was melted. You do have the joint there in the torso. Look at just all of this painted detail is wild. I mean, this is a top tier. Again, whatever you think of the Fiend or Bray or the gimmick, this is a top tier elite figure. One of the most involved they've ever made. So the pants just have, again, all of this detail. The weathering, got double jointed knees that work really nicely. And these are the boots from the Ultimate Fiend. Or I guess one of the Ultimate Fiend figures. There are two, but they have the toes. Because sometimes they will just use the Ultimate parts for the Elite figures because it's cheaper than, dumbing down the tooling. The ankles, still those primitive rocker ankles. Mattel, come on, step into 2022 and let's get some better ankles on these figures. But look at the detailing on the straps on his boots. He's got the purple boots. All the buckles are painted. Just all of this texture, the knees, the padding on the thighs, everything. This is an amazing figure. I could put it on a horror shelf. I could put it on I've got a whole Bray Wyatt shelf, which is far, far, far from like everything that has come out. But I do have a Bray shelf with the mask and all the puppets, and then several of the figures, because the Firefly Funhouse and the Fiend are just some of my favorite things ever in wrestling. It was so wild and weird. So there you go. There is the burned Fiend Bray Wyatt, one of the most unique wrestling figures of all time, a great horror figure. I think this is interesting for crossover fans and for fans of either. Just a really unique piece that maybe they overproduced. Maybe I could have waited and gotten it for $5 someday, but I don't want it someday. I want it now during the spooky season to appreciate and to share with you guys. So there you go. One of the, again, just a unique wrestling figure. If you see it, it's out now in stores, and you can either find it now or maybe wait, and Ringside will have it for $5 at Christmas. But this is not a Christmas figure. This is a spooky Halloween figure. And there you go. Please like, subscribe, share, come back every week for new toy reviews, and let me in.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.